Elect me as governor, and I guarantee term limits and an end to career politicians, most of them who are corrupt. Make no mistake, I'm the only man with the wisdom, the courage, and the integrity to make term limits a reality. This is not an empty campaign promise. I'm going to teach you now exactly how we will implement term limits in this republic. We all want term limits, regardless of political affiliation, regardless of race, gender, or whatever manner you self-identify. In fact, 80% of us, in the most recent poll, 80% of us want term limits. 10% don't, and 9.5% they don't know. It is the one issue that unites us as a people that transcends party politics. It is the stepping stone to uniting our people once again, to restoring our republic and restoring power that is inherent in the people. So how can I make this guarantee? So this is exactly how we're going to get this done. In the Tennessee Constitution, the governor has the power to convene the General Assembly. I will convene all of the senators and representatives in the Capitol. I will present them with a memorial and remonstrance, with 80% of you as co-remonstrant signatories with me, and we will present that to the Tennessee House of Representatives. We have a right in Article 1, Section 23 of the Tennessee Constitution to instruct our representatives. That means they have a duty to consider, to hear us, to hear our grievance or to hear our instructions. They have a duty to hear it, and then they have a duty to consider, to deliberate, and then to decide. And so we're going to get them all to vote, whether they want term limits or not. And this all comes from the sovereign power of the people. Tennessee Constitution, Article 1 says power is inherent in the people. It is. When they were discussing this in the first Congress, adding the Bill of Rights, here's what one of the representatives said. He said, Representative Jerry, he said, now, though I do not believe that the amendment would bind representatives to obey instructions, yet I think the people have a right both to instruct and bind them. Do gentlemen conceive that on any occasion instructions would be so general as to proceed from all of our constituents? If they do, it is the sovereign will. For gentlemen will not contend that the sovereign will presides in the legislature. The friends and patrons of this Constitution have always declared that sovereignty resides in the people and that they do not part with it on any occasion. To say sovereignty rests in the people and that they have a right not to instruct and control their representatives is absurd to the last degree. So we know from that discussion, that was from the transcripts in the first Congress on August 15, 1789. So we know from that discussion that our right to instruct creates an obligation of our legislative houses to consider our instructions. So we're going to present them. Once we get this done here in Tennessee, then we will lead the republic on doing exactly the same thing with the entire citizenry of this nation, remonstrating to the United States Congress, asserting the sovereign will of the power inherent in the people, and saying we are going to have term limits. This is not asking, we are telling. This is how we get it done, people. All of my work is about restoring power that is inherent in the people and restoring the voice and power that is inherent in us. And once we get rid of these career politicians that are in there, we can start getting people that are going to start listening to the people and listening to our instructions. So thank you for taking time with me today. And I guarantee it, mark my words, if Tennessee puts me in office, we will have term limits first in Tennessee and then in the United States Congress. And I'm the only person teaching you how to get this done. God bless, God speak to us all, and in God we trust.